Yo, what is up, my Shadow Armies? It is I, Shadow Critias, back again with another anime video. So yes, this is RWBY and My Hero Academia. And you could say, for those people who have not watched both of the videos that I posted a few days ago about why RWBY and Has Been on Tale are overhated, and the video on why RWBY and My Hero Academia are basically have something in common when the fandoms and etc. And I want to talk about the main course. And remember, I mentioned in the last video that I posted that people are only focused on the shipping, not the story, the characters, the plot, the setting, etc. And I want to make this as an example that by the title of this video that the shipping is more important than the story in the most toxic way. So basically, I'm talking to the toxic people when it comes to shipping when their shipping doesn't come true. So basically, the two characters basically are the victim when it comes to shipping in the shipping community, and that is Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia and Blake Belladonna, a member of Team RWBY and a main character out of the four of the RWBY series with her team. Yes, RWBY is the main character, but Blake is because she's part of the team. And the show is basically about the four girls, which means Team RWBY are the main characters. So basically, we're going to talk about why people are so focused on the shipping and not the story and the plot and the setting, and misunderstood the characters as a whole. And I'm going to get Deku out of the way because I said this countless times. Deku is basically the victim when it comes to shipping in the shipping community. People are so obsessed that Deku is not gay and doesn't show any affection when it comes to men. And people want Deku to end up with Bakugo instead of Uraraka because the Bakudeku just do not like Uraraka as a character, and they see her as a plot device and in the way of their Bakudeku shipping. And whenever seen that Deku and Bakugo always around, they focusing on that but not the story. And it's both sad and pathetic, and people are being denial because when the manga came to an end, people were pissed that Deku can't end up with Bakugo and not being gay because Deku ended up with Uraraka. So, and people were so denial, and they were hoping that the anime will change it, but no, it didn't. It kept it in the actual canon, and people were even more pissed. And then you have people who has the balls and audacity to send a death threat to Horikoshi when he confirmed that Deku is not gay, he is straight, and people were pissed about it. And people misunderstood, like, since when Deku had any romantic feelings when it comes to guys. Like, whenever he sees Bakugo, he gets freaked out in a panic way. He's afraid of Bakugo in season 1 until he finally stand his ground and started to become the person he needs to be. So there is no romantic feelings between them two. There was none of that. It's just rivalry and respectful to each other. And I just do not understand why people think Deku has a romantic feelings for Bakugo, which that's not true. And there's no proven evidence to back up that claim. They just want Deku to be gay because they are hardcore fan of Bakugos, especially the fangirls. And it's kind of sad and pathetic, honestly. And it's kind of, again, like I said in my other video about why this shipping fandom even existed in the first place video. And I see this as funny, hilarious, sad, and pathetic, and pity. for the toxic shippers because they're upset because, oh, this ship is canon, but their shipping doesn't happen, and they get pissed off about it. And it's both sad and hilarious. And Daegu shows that he is so flustered around women. Like, for fuck's sake, he was flustered with Uraraka multiple times. Like, for fuck's sake, he was flustered how Uraraka wears her school uniform, and was flustered how Uraraka said her hero outfit is a bit tight. So Deku has a thing of women wearing a tight spandex suit. And Deku, for fuck's sake, he got flustered with Mei Hatsume laying on his face, tits on his face, mind you. And in the first movie of My Hero, you literally see how Deku literally made both Uraraka, Jiro, and Momo jealous, and Deku was started flustered about it. Yeah, that's a sign that Deku is more interested in women than guys. There is no romantic feelings that Deku had with men. There's no proven evidence to back up the claim. But the Bakudekus are denial and do not want to accept that Deku is straight. And again, it's just pity, petty, and sad, and also hilarious. And secondly, why is with your people want to have Deku to be with someone who is only care for himself, always have an anger issue, and he only cares about himself to be the top dog? I mean, for fuck's sake, he bullied him, he beat the shit out of him. He even tell him to take a swarm dive and come back in the next life to have a quirk. So who the fuck wants to have a person, like, who the fuck wants to date that kind of person that's just been harass you, bully you, and even threaten you? No, that's not a healthy relationship. That's just toxic and abuse relationship. What is wrong with y'all people, honestly? Now, again, enough for Deku and etc. So, like I said, I already said enough about Deku and about people want Deku to be gay. They want to be with Bakugo, but instead they confirm and fully confirm, we already know this, that Deku is straight and he has a thing for Uraraka and not for Bakugo. Moving on to Blake. People misunderstood Blake as a character because Blake was in the relationship with Adam, her mentor, and then it became more control and an abusive in a way. It was not good. So Blake had to leave and to be her own person until she met Yang, who basically treats her as a normal person instead of just a faunus. And people need to understand, Monty Ohm, God rest his soul, before he passed away, he wanted the Bumblebee thing to be a thing. He wanted Blake and Yang to be a thing. That's the first ship that he want. And I said this before in my RWBY channel. For those people who may not know, the reason why Sun Wukong was created in the first place, he's just a backup plot device for a love interest for Blake if the Bumblebee doesn't go well. That's the reason why Sun was created in the first place, is just the backup. Nothing more, nothing less. So, ever since Volume 2, the ship war in RWBY began for Blake. You have the Bumblebee versus the Black Sun. The Black Sun are basically toxic as hell. Not even close compared to the Bakudeku. The Black Sun is toxic, but not as worse than Bakudeku shippers. And people just do not like the idea of Blake being gay into women, but until it was confirmed that Blake is bisexual. So basically, she does have a thing for women, but mostly women than guys, which there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. And you gotta understand, Blake was doing and move on and be her own person until Yang comes to her life and treats her like a normal person with more healthy, polite, and calmer and positive. And The only person who understands Blake is Yang, because Yang has been around with Blake all the time. Sun, he's just all over the place and not be around 24/7 because he's a team leader of his own team, Team Sun, and he has to be around with his teammate instead of just being around with Blake. So, and people are going to say, oh, what about Volume 6 where Blake kissed Sun in the cheek? That was a thank you kiss on the cheek. Nothing more. That was just a thankful for Sun helping Blake to get through and help her to stand up, to not run away of her problems or run away from her friends. Like I said, Sun is just a supporter to Blake. Nothing more. And ever since Sun arrived in his first appearance in Volume 1, people want the Bumblebee shipping to happen. So Monty and the RWBY stick with it. So they decided to stick with the Bumblebee shipping because that's the main ship. And people want Black Sun to happen. Hell, you even got the Black Sun people are threatening the Rooster Teeth that they want the Black Sun to happen. And Rooster Teeth, back then, they know. They're just laughing their ass off and they're not going to do it. Because they see y'all threat as a joke. When Volume 9 came around, when Blake and Sun, not Blake and Sun, when Blake and Yang express their feelings and tell them they love each other and have their first kiss, oh, I know the Black Sun shippers were pissed. They were pissed that it's now officially canon, officially a thing. Like, you guys should know this was the plan that Montion wanted since day one, before the series was even made, to have Blake and Yang to be the first two members out of 4 of Team RWBY to be a couple. And it's, people are so pissed at denial, and there are basically, how would I put this, desperate. Because on my RWBY channel, I had one commenter and other few commenters are so upset and being desperate because they were like, I hope in Volume 10 that Blake could break up with Yang so she could end up with Sun. I hope Volume 10 that both of them break up. I hope Yang dies in Volume 10. I hope, like, again, they really hate Yang because they do not want Yang to end up with Blake. They think Yang is a terrible sister. They do not like how Yang stand up for Blake against RWBY. Like, y'all guys really misunderstood everything. Like, again, like I said before, you had people saying, I hope Blake breaks up with Yang. I hope Yang breaks up with Blake in Volume 10 so the Black Sun shipping can happen. I hope Sun will break. I hope Sun will find a way to have Blake and Yang to break up. Black Sun for life. Black Sun forever. Yeah. Again, is the most pettiest and desperate motherfuckers in the Black Sun shipping. There are. It's just sad and depressing, and they're fucking desperate that the Bumblebee shipping is a thing. And it's sad and hilarious because people are misunderstood everything when it comes to the fiction and franchise. And plus, Blake has no interest in dating another guy. She wants to move on from that. And people just do not want Blake to be gay. Which is kind of ironic. You have people do not want Blake to be gay or bi, but you have people who want Deku to be gay and not straight. You know what I mean? And again, it's so sad that y'all motherfuckers are taking this too damn seriously in the most toxic way, and none of y'all never understand the story, misunderstood of everything in fiction and franchise, because y'all see and only care about that shipping is more important than the story. That's basically what it is. You guys do not care about the characters. You guys do not care about the world building. Don't care about the plot, the setting, the story, the character development, the theme, etc. Y'all guys are so focused, so fixating, and your main important, the reason why you watch the show in the first place is the shipping. That's the main focus. Y'all guys only care about the shipping because shipping is more important than the other things in you guys' point of view. And that's the problem. And the reason why the series is bad to everyone's point of view is because your shipping didn't happen. Y'all pissed off that the Bumblebee has happened. Y'all pissed off that Deku Uraraka is happened as canon, but not the Black Sun. So y'all need to get over it and grow the fuck up. Like, it's petty, it's sad, and it's depressing, and it's funny as hell to see y'all crashing down. All because the Bumblebee is canon, not the Black Sun. All because Deku Uraraka end up in canon, but not the Bakudeku, because Bakudeku is not canon. And it's fucking hilarious. Again, I said this countless times, I'm going to say it again. Y'all people only focus on the shipping because the shipping is more important than the story as a whole in the most toxic way. And y'all need to grow the fuck up. And it's fun. At first it was funny, and now it's just become sad, disappointing, and pettiness. And it's just not okay. So y'all gotta grow the fuck up, and y'all need to understand these are fictional characters. They're not fucking real. So get over it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channel, my social medias will be down below the description box. You know the drill. Links to my Cash App, PayPal, Ko-fi will be down below the description box and in my bio if you guys want to donate to support the channel. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. New before, shout out to Critias, and I'll see you guys later.